my kids were young, I had gotten them a big, white, happy rat, and they named him Jonas. I didn't know first that it's best they have another rat to grow up with, so I went to the pet store to get one. I was lost in reverie when I saw him, the little buddy for Jonas. The kids had fought over 2 names for Jonas, the Jonas brothers' name winning, so I was going to surprise the kids and Jonas with Rocco. My face must have been glowing with excitement, envisioning the blossoming friendship between Jonas and Rocco. Jonas was so sweet and deserved to be happy, and now Rocco too. His new little buddy. Rocco was darker than Jonas, so I figured I'd be able to tell them apart that way when they snuggled up together. My heart swelled with anticipation for the future companionship that awaited. The sunlight shone in the window, warming me and Rocco as I drove home to introduce him to the kids and his new best friend Jonas. A peaceful serenity spread through the car as Rocco crawled on my lap. Rocco, who looked just like that cute rat in the movie Ratatouille, had first cautiously emerged with his oversized ears twitching with curiosity, but soon was sniffing me and then snuggling on my lap. As I drove up to the house, I offered a gentle reassurance to Rocco. "Almost home, little buddy, almost home. Jonas is gonna love you and the kids are too." So I started singing the song Home on the Range as I parked the car, so excited about this I could hardly stand it. Rocco was so sweet and sat so still, he just looked up at me listening to me sing, his whiskers twitching and his eyes looked like he was at peace, and that felt good that it seemed he felt safe. Once inside and the kids saw Rocco, the house buzzed with the joyous chaos of children welcoming Rocco home, their faces alight with pure, unbridled affection. Even Jonas seemed to be smiling. My heart was filled with a mixture of hope and a little bit of anxiety though as I slowly approached Jonas's cage with Rocco. Only because I saw how fast the rats at the store ran all around together. Each step I took with the kids gathered around me, each taking a step when I'd take one, was filled with anticipation, as if the very air around Jonas's cage crackled with the unspoken possibilities. The kitchen transformed into a stage for a reunion, where every gesture and glance carried the weight of 1,000 untold stories. So I opened Jonas's cage and say to Rocco, "This is your new home. Meet your new best friend Jonas. Jonas, meet your new little buddy." And I gently guided Rocco into the confined space behind the door, but then suddenly, and completely unexpectedly, a horrifying explosion of violence erupted as Jonas lunged toward Rocco, transforming into a whirlwind of fur and teeth. Rocco cried out in agony as Jonas viciously tore out his eyeball as the cage floor splatters with blood. And Jonas looked like he was smiling and proud, as if he was looking for praises.
Sorry. I have to chime in. I had to tell Mom to go back in the kitchen because I knew she felt it was her fault, so the less she saw, the better. The other kids didn't see. I made them go to their rooms. It ended up not being too awful. Rocco, his eye healed. Well, it healed over. The skin left healed over. Okay, the eyeball was dangling for like a day before it finally came off. But okay, after...
I felt so bad. It was my fault, even if I hadn't known that was even in the realm of possibilities. I still felt such guilt after I had reassured poor Rocco, aka Little Buddy, as I handed him over to... Okay, while Chip is preoccupied, I'll go ahead and finish. Apparently, what happened to Rocco is not as uncommon as we thought. As awful as it was that day, Chip is right. Rocco did heal quickly and, well, I don't know if I should press my luck with part 2 of this story, albeit a much more humorous one, after just hearing the horrific thing Jonas did, just once, but still it may seem a bit crass. So for now, we'll just leave you with this. Rocco not only survived and healed, he and Jonas actually stayed in the same cage for the rest of their lives, and although not as close as most rats seem, they both seemed to have a mutual understanding and they never paid much attention to each other, never a fight, hiss, or growl between them. Rocco was as happy as any rat or anything could be. And we can and will learn to foresee in the future that before we introduce Rocco to Jonas, we need to make sure first that we
Have Rocco wear protective glasses. Haha, I love you, Mama Shell. We all learned a little from that day, and I'm pretty sure anyone who watches this will probably never for themselves have an...
Wait, no, don't say it. That's for part 2.
Okay, I'm just saying. After hearing about what Jonas did. I hope the kid's mom doesn't hear about it now since you told her how sweet Jonas was and not to be so deathly afraid of our pet rat.
Well, I only said that because when she saw Jonas on the kitchen counter, she jumped like 5 feet in the air and was hysterical, screeching and screaming and of course asking, "What is that? What is that?" So I told her it was just our sweet pet rat Jonas. He wouldn't hurt a fly. It's okay. You can come down now off the table. And, well, I might as well tell you all now, she said. You have
You have an on-purpose rat?
Huh?